Hello. So I don't normally make videos. I actually don't have a lot of experience making videos, and I haven't scripted this, and I'm doing it in one take. So, if there's any mistakes, whatever, I'm leaving them in. So it's Pride Month. It's June. Um, I am obviously trans. I am also a pansexual lesbian. And you might wonder how them two can be combined. Well, the answer is I like all genders, but I really only date women. It is not because I really have anything in particular against men. It's just that my experiences with men have not been positive, and it's honestly something I have to get over. But I'm working on it in therapy and stuff anyway. So reason I am doing this is because, well, I actually normally wouldn't do something like this, but it's honestly something close to my heart. I believe pride is important because somebody out there today is would rather be dead than out as gay, out as trans, out as whatever, or they're forced to live in the closet, or they will be killed, or you know, injured, or lose their housing, lose their spouses. I've heard it all. I've heard many things over the years, many stories. I'm 33. So I guess I will give a brief summary of how long I've been out and like my story, I suppose. I've been out as some form of queer since I was 15, 16. So that's easily 17 years of my life, 18 years of my life. I've been out as some form of queer. I've been out as trans since I think I was 16, at least to my friends. I was only out online for a long time. And then I lived in Florida, rural Florida, in this little backwater called Green Cove Springs. It was a complete terrible place to live, terrible place to be trans. There was one other trans person in the town. She was in high school. She's a little younger than me, and my family did accept her, but my mother's pretty regressive for someone from the '80s. I have to qualify that. Trust me, and I'll get to that. But basically, we were the only people who accepted her. But seeing how she was treated is was made me not want to come out. And it kept me in the closet for too long until one day my mother came home. This is how I came out in real life, by the way. I one day my mother came home. She brought home some jeans for me, some men's jeans. And I was pick out these clothes, like from this bag. I got a bunch of stuff from the clothes closet, and I was like, I don't want any of these. And she's like, why? I'm like, I just don't. She's like, are you a tranny? And I said, yes. And she's like, okay then. And that's how I came out. I was like 18 years old when I came out to my mother. And it was the scariest thing I'd ever done, and I didn't intend to even do it. And it took me many years to like socially transition. I moved to Oklahoma to escape that environment in Florida because it was such a terrible place to live, like to be trans. And Oklahoma was somehow an upgrade. But I lived in Oklahoma for 11 years. I lived around Tulsa. Spent a little time in Tahlequah. Um, my experiences there being trans, I started coming out more and more over the years. I got on hormones, all that. Um, basically, as soon as I could, back when informed consent became a thing, because I didn't really want to go through the rigmarole of getting diagnosed with GID. I felt it was an insulting process. I still feel it's an insulting process, and I'm glad that stuff is slowly going away. Not fast enough for my liking, and I know it's not like that in every country. But it's sad to see that the clock is turning back on that as well, like legalize. But anyway, um, so I, when I started coming out, I didn't really have I lived in Tulsa. It wasn't a huge problem at the time I started coming out. Most people were like, whatever, you're just another face. They don't give a shit. Um, but um, some people did make comments. I did get some transphobia. I got called slurs all the time, like fag and tranny, and it did happen once in a while, well, once a month maybe. I tried not to let it bother me. I just like whatever. They must be miserable. Um, and I'm not gonna let some okie dictate how to live my life. You know what I mean? So like, um, but when I about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was like, long story short, I'm not gonna get into it, but I got divorced. I'm still friends with my ex-wife, but she's also trans. Um, and I actually helped her on that journey. That's a part of why we're still friends. One of many reasons. But anyway, so I had just gotten divorced, and I had, it was like, I kind of like saw the political climate shifting, and I knew things were getting worse, and I had to leave Oklahoma. My ex-wife came back for a bit, and then we all moved to Seattle. We didn't stay together, but we all moved to Seattle. I kind of went on my own way, but I moved to Seattle to basically escape Kevin Stitt's Oklahoma and his agenda for trans people to literally exterminate them off the face of the earth by making them not be trans. And to me, that counts as genocide. I don't care what you think. You can think whatever you'd like. Like if you don't think it's genocide, like you can just not be trans. Well, you can just like shut the fuck up. So, how about them apples? So anyway, I was basically run out of my state, my home for 11 years. I felt like home in Oklahoma, and I don't think that should ever happen to anyone. But it happened to me, and it happened to a lot of people I know, and it's still happening. And people have to flee their homes. They have to flee shitty families. They have to flee all these people to just exist. That's not fair. That's not right. I don't think that's okay. It makes me very depressed and sad that this is happening. That's why I think pride is important. One of many reasons. I'm not going to do a video on why pride is important. I could go on and on for hours, but other people have done it better. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is that I am out. I am proud. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I will not let anybody put me back in the closet. And it doesn't matter what my family thinks. Most of my extended family never acknowledged it. They don't even care about like my mother. So we were always the black sheep. My grandmother, when I came out to her, I sent her a letter because she's old school and I didn't have the guts to tell her over the phone. Her response was to ask if when I was quitting hormones. Thumbs up. The answer is never. But anyway, she probably wants me to go back to Jesus or whatever. I was like, nah, fam. But my mother, my siblings are all okay with it. They're all pretty good. They're pretty supportive. As supportive as they are for anything else. Some of them were like, I'm not close to all my siblings, but it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them. They're not even close to their other siblings. So it's not just like a me thing or trans thing. But so my brother and my sister, both supportive, very supportive people. My brother is Demi. I'm pretty sure my sister's a lesbian. Um, anyway, but I'm only half kidding. But basically, you know, being cool. My mother though is she's been drinking the Facebook Kool-Aid, and that really concerns me. Concerns me a lot because she's reading too much into it and getting a lot of stories that just are either not true or distortions of the facts, or a very tiny minority of our community. Look, me and most other, like 99% of trans people are not trying to make your kids trans. We want them to live their truth, whatever that is. If that means they're cis, that means they're cis. If that means they're trans, it means they're trans. If they don't know yet, that means they don't know yet. And I think everybody should have that opportunity to live their truth and know. And for my whole life, I never was really certain about my gender. I grew up feeling like I was not like a boy or a girl. And as even an adult, I don't really feel like a boy or a girl. I just feel more girl aligned, whatever the hell that means. I'm kind of opted out of the whole gender thing because I just see it as a scam by big gender to sell more gender, but and also to sell more toilets. But I just my mother, she's kind of drinking the Kool Aid. She's like not really getting the whole pronouns thing. Oh, pronouns. Like, my mom needs to really calm the fuck down and stop like getting red pilled on Facebook. Um, that is also another reason I think pride is important and why I'm making this. And, I don't care if my mother sees this. I would tell her all of this to her face, and I'm pretty sure I've told most of it to her face. But yeah, I just feel like, if my message to you, if you're trans, if maybe it's a little bit of hubris to give you a message, but my message is, if you're trans and not out, is try to get into an environment where you can be out and live yourself, live your truth, if possible. No situation is inescapable, and never too late. It's never too late to come out. It's never too late to be yourself. It's never too late to just be who you are, and whatever that may be. Whether you're not binary trans or non-binary trans, a trans guy, a trans woman, a trans femme, trans mask, or some other weird variant of trans or xenogender, I don't know. That I find gender to be, it's not for me. If you want to have fun with it, go right on ahead. I won't stop you. But I think it is a lie made by cis people to justify the existence of trans people, and therefore I don't care about it. But and also, again, as I said before, a lie to sell by big gender to sell more toilets. But anyway, so essentially, I'm just going to say that, like, maybe I've rambled a bit in this video. I've done the best I can. I don't do this often, but hope this video helps inspire you or something, or I can't really contribute to the conversation very much. I'm not articulate enough, and frankly inexperienced enough to making videos or whatever, and not much of an influencer either. So, but yeah, that's it. Bye.